In the busy kitchen of an international food festival, the stage was set for a grand cooking contest between Nigeria and Ghana. Chefs from both nations came ready to show their skills, and the air was filled with the smell of spices and warm aromas. The contest promised not only great food but also a meeting of cultures, where recipes and traditions mixed as freely as the ingredients in a pot of jollof rice. Behind the busy counters, two talented chefs stood out. Bayo, a creative chef from Nigeria, was known for his rich and flavorful dishes. On the Ghanaian side, Ama was admired for her precise techniques and passion for cooking. Although both were proud of their heritage and talent, an invisible spark of curiosity began to grow between them even before the contest started. The contest began with a burst of energy as both sides prepared their signature recipes. The competition was fierce, and every chef tried to outshine the other with amazing flavors and beautiful presentations. In the busy kitchen, Bayo and Ama found themselves in direct competition. They exchanged determined looks, each silently promising to put their best effort forward. Despite the competitive atmosphere, a subtle respect began to form. Bayo noticed Ama's careful technique and the way she handled her ingredients with love. Ama, in turn, appreciated the bold choices Bayo made in his dishes. Both chefs felt a curious mix of rivalry and admiration as they stirred their pots and added secret ingredients, setting the tone for an exciting challenge. Late one evening, after a long day of chopping, mixing and tasting, the kitchen emptied slowly. Bayo was left to clean up his workstation when he noticed Ama sitting alone at a small table, looking thoughtful. In that quiet moment, the noise of the contest faded away, and the soft clink of silverware filled the space. Their eyes met, and in that silent meeting, a warm connection began to grow. They talked for the first time away from the prying eyes of their teams. Ama admitted that every dish was a story of her heart, and Bayo shared how each spice held memories of home. Their conversation was simple and honest, and soon they discovered that behind the competitive masks, they both valued creativity, passion, and family. This gentle beginning hinted at something far deeper than rivalry. Bayo's family, steeped in culinary tradition, had always expected him to honor Nigeria's rich cooking history. They hoped he would be a champion and a model for future generations. At home, the aroma of hearty stews and spiced soups mingled with stories of past glories. Their hopes and dreams pressed gently on Bayo's shoulders, urging him to push beyond what he thought was possible. Across the border, Ama's family shared similar expectations. They had watched her grow up, learning secret family recipes and the care behind every carefully measured spice. Though proud of her skills, they worried that the demands of fame and contest pressure might change her gentle nature. Each family's proud legacy weighed on her like an invisible pressure, adding to the mix of pride and worry in her heart. During a break in the contest, Bayo and Ama found themselves alone in the spice storeroom. Amid rows of colorful jars and fragrant powders, they shared small stories about their childhoods and the dishes that defined their cultures. The storeroom, filled with the essence of their histories, became a quiet space where rivalry softened into friendly curiosity. Their conversation soon turned to their dreams for the future, revealing common hopes of sharing food that could bring people together. Even though they belonged to opposing teams in the contest, Bayo and Ama began to see that both Nigerian and Ghanaian cuisines had much to share. In that cozy room, with spices gently perfuming the air, the first seeds of a budding romance were planted. The contest pressure brought out both the best and the worst in the participants. Rumors of sabotage began to circulate among the chefs, and distrust quietly crept into the busy kitchen. Bayo's station had several unexplained mishaps, and Ama noticed ingredients that seemed to have been tampered with. Both chefs started to suspect that not everyone was playing fair in this heated competition. Despite the growing tension, Bayo and Ama shared furtive glances that spoke of quiet support. They exchanged discreet words of encouragement when others were not looking. Their bond grew stronger as they faced challenges together, even if they were on opposing sides. The mystery of who was behind the acts of sabotage deepened, but it also pushed the two chefs closer, uniting them in their determination to create the best food possible. In the midst of sabotage and competing pressures, Bayo and Ama sought a way to build trust. Away from the judging panels and flashing cameras, they set aside their differences to share helpful tips and ingredients they both believed in. In whispered exchanges and behind closed doors, they learned that sometimes, in a world full of tricks, trust was the best ingredient of all. Slowly, they began to share not just techniques, but also personal stories about their struggles and dreams. Bayo talked about the challenges of meeting his family's high expectations, while Ama revealed her fear of losing herself in the whirlwind of fame. In this mutual exchange, they found strength in each other's vulnerability. This understanding formed the core of a deep and slowly blossoming love. As the contest moved into its final phase, both Nigeria and Ghana showed incredible skill and passion. The audience cheered, and the judges leaned forward with keen interest as each dish was presented. Bayo's dish shone with vibrant colors and a bold taste, while Ama's creation was delicate yet bursting with flavor. The tension of rivalry was replaced by a sense of unity in their shared love for cooking. For a brief moment, the chaos faded into applause and admiration. Both chefs saw how their efforts inspired the crowd and each other. Their secret smiles hinted at a recognition that something precious was growing between them, a love forged in the heat of competition and honesty. In that shining moment of glory, the true magic of their art was celebrated, proving that passion could bridge even the deepest divides. Despite their growing closeness, the path ahead was not without challenges. Underneath the bright lights of the contest, unspoken worries loomed. Each chef battled inner doubts. Bayo wrestled with his family's heavy expectations, and Ama struggled with the fear that love could be an unexpected distraction from her dreams of fame. They shared their moments of vulnerability, though they rarely spoke these thoughts aloud in front of others. In between rounds of cooking and judging, the two found solace in private conversations. They exchanged silent promises to support each other no matter what happened on stage. Though their colleagues and family members remained unaware, Bayo and Ama began to build a quiet alliance against the pressures of the contest. In each shared glance and gentle word, the seeds of courage grew, a quiet resolve to face the future together regardless of the obstacles in their way. The kitchen was alive with energy as the final dishes were prepared, but in the heart of the chaos, Bayo and Ama discovered an unexpected truth. Their growing feelings for one another had shown them that love could be found even in the midst of fierce competition. Behind every stir of a pot and every perfectly sliced ingredient, an unspoken promise blossomed, a promise of support, care, and unity. Away from the loud cheers and piercing spotlights, the two chefs shared a quiet meal together. Over simple plates of rice and stew, they spoke about the delicate balance of flavors, drawing a parallel to how love too needed the right mix of fire, patience, and spice. This shared moment of intimacy deepened their connection, as they realized that sometimes, the best outcomes emerged from unexpected partnerships. Their hearts began to beat in sync, echoing the rhythms of the kitchen. Just as Bayo and Ama's closeness deepened, the acts of sabotage in the contest began to escalate. Unexpected ingredients were swapped, and crucial spices went missing, leaving both teams scrambling to keep their dishes on track. The air turned thick with suspicion, and accusations flew as each side wondered who was behind the deliberate acts of disruption. Despite the growing chaos, Bayo and Ama found comfort in each other's presence. They shared leads and exchanged notes discreetly, determined to uncover the truth behind the sabotage. While the world around them grew more uncertain by the minute, they remained anchored in their mutual trust. In the midst of trembling uncertainty, their friendship and budding love shone as a beacon of hope and resilience, a quiet defiance against the storm of foul play. As the contest continued, both Bayo and Ama had to face stern words from their families. Bayo's relatives expressed their displeasure at his softening stance toward the competition, warning that his focus on food should leave little room for personal distractions. Meanwhile, Ama's family worried that her growing attachment to a rival chef might derail her future and tarnish the family name. These confrontations brought a heavy silence over their personal lives. Bayo and Ama felt torn between honoring the wishes of those they loved and following the path their hearts were pointing toward. In private moments, each wondered if their passion for one another was worth challenging long-held traditions. Even as harsh words echoed around them, the mutual support between the two chefs grew stronger. They reassured one another that love, like their treasured recipes, could be adapted and improved with care and honest effort, a lesson that would soon be tested further in the fiery crucible of the contest. News of the contest began to spread beyond the kitchen, capturing the attention of local media and food lovers alike. Bayo and Ama, once small-town chefs, found themselves suddenly thrust into the spotlight. Cameras flashed as they prepared their dishes, and fans chanted their names from the sidelines. The thrill of fame was tangible, and both chefs felt the weight of public expectations. Even as the contest warmed up, the newfound fame brought extra challenges. Bayo worried that fame might change him, while Ama feared that the pressures of being a celebrity might leave little room for who she truly was. Despite these challenges, they clung to the support they found in each other. Behind every flash of a camera and every burst of applause, they secretly celebrated the fact that their journey was not just about winning a contest, It was about proving that love and passion could triumph over external pressures. Their bond, now in the public eye, remained a quiet yet steadfast promise of perseverance. With the final rounds of the contest approaching, both teams found themselves needing creative solutions to overcome obstacles. Bayo and Ama began to exchange ideas in secret, sharing tips that could help improve their dishes despite the increasing sabotage. They discovered that combining parts of their techniques resulted in a dish that was uniquely vibrant and full of life. Working together in hidden moments, they experimented with spices and flavors, testing small portions until they found the perfect blend. Their teamwork not only improved their recipes but also deepened their trust in one another. Each success in the kitchen became a small victory against the constant challenges of the contest, and the duo began to see a future where collaboration could break down old rivalries. Their careful blending of Nigerian heat and Ghanaian finesse formed a new recipe for hope, a recipe that celebrated the power of unity, determination, and love. Late in the evening, after a long day of challenges and applause, Bayo and Ama arranged a secret meeting away from the busy kitchen. They met in a quiet corner of the festival grounds, where the soft light of the evening touched everything with a gentle glow. Here, away from the bright stage and the worried eyes of family and fans, they could talk freely. In the peaceful quiet, they shared not only the struggles of their day but also dreams of a future where their love and passion for food could flourish unbound. Bayo's soft words met with Ama's gentle smiles, and together they planned a small, secret kitchen where they could experiment with new recipes, free from the pressures of the contest. The night was filled with mutual promises and hopes, laying the foundation for a life that blended tradition with innovation. A life as rich and satisfying as the perfect jollof rice. As the contest neared its climax, unexpected obstacles emerged from all corners. Sabotage became even more daring, and the pressure to perform reached a boiling point. Bayo and Ama faced days full of setbacks and critical judgment from their peers and the press. Every spilled ingredient and mistimed step in the recipes added to their growing stress. Through it all, their support for each other never wavered. In stolen moments between hectic rounds, they discussed strategies to overcome the challenges and leaned on their shared passion for cooking. Even when mistakes were made and lessons had to be learned quickly, their quiet determination shone through. Each trial was met with a reminder that true talent and love could turn any failure into a stepping stone towards success. Their journey was one of learning and perseverance, proving that with patience, even the hardest battles could lead to unexpected triumphs. The contest had reached a point where the acts of sabotage were no longer subtle. Chefs whispered about missing key ingredients and tools that had been tampered with deliberately. Bayo's and Ama's stations, once their safe havens, were now frequent targets of these malicious acts. The air was heavy with mistrust, and every misstep felt like a planned attack on their dreams. Determined to fight back, Bayo and Ama began to work even closer together. They secretly documented each incident and exchanged careful notes on patterns they observed. Their cooperation not only helped them adjust their recipes on the fly but also solidified the bond of trust between them. They realized that if they could face the malicious challenges together, they could overcome anything. In the midst of escalating sabotage, they found strength in each other and a renewed commitment to forge a way to success despite the obstacles. After a particularly harsh round of sabotage left both teams shaken, Bayo and Ama found themselves reflecting on their own journeys. In the quiet hours of early morning, they sat together and talked about the pain caused by mistrust and the heavy burden of family expectations. They understood that in order to create something beautiful, they needed to let go of grudges and embrace forgiveness. In this heartfelt moment, they forgave not only the unknown saboteur but also the hidden fears that had held them back. Their conversation was soft but powerful, filled with a promise to honor both their heritage and their new love. They agreed that the secret of a perfect jollof, much like life, was found in learning to blend sorrow with joy, mistakes with corrections and heat with patience. This new understanding gave them renewed hope, as they prepared for the final stages of the contest with hearts open and spirits mended. With every challenge and every heartache behind them, the contest now approached its grand finale. Bayo and Ama were more determined than ever to create a dish that would not only win the contest but also tell the story of their shared journey. The stage was set for the final showdown between Nigeria and Ghana, where tradition and innovation met in a dazzling display of passion and creativity. In the final round, both chefs poured their hearts into their dishes. Every carefully chosen spice and measured ingredient carried the weight of their struggles and the hope of their newly forged bond. The air buzzed with anticipation as judges tasted the dishes with serious faces. Behind the scenes, Bayo and Ama exchanged a silent nod, and understanding that win or lose, the real victory lay in the love they had nurtured and the lessons they had learned about trust, hope, and forgiveness. The moment of truth arrived as the judges finally announced the results of the heated contest. In a stunning celebration of culinary artistry, the dish that combined the best of Nigerian and Ghanaian flavors was crowned the winner. Amid cheers and applause, Bayo and Ama found themselves in the spotlight, not just for their skillful cooking, but for the beautiful partnership they had built. In that final moment, they realized that their journey together had been about much more than the contest. Their love had grown from rivalry and challenges into a deep bond of respect and care. They promised each other to keep cooking side by side, blending the heat of Nigeria with the finesse of Ghana for all the world to enjoy. Their story became a cherished recipe for success, one that proved that love, like a perfect jollof, needs the right blend of fire, patience, and spice to create a truly unforgettable flavor.